Tunde slammed the alarm clock against the wall as it rang again for the third time, his heart racing because he was already late for the interview he promised himself he would attend tomorrow. He rushed out of bed, grabbed his phone, and saw 20 missed calls from the company that had once believed in him. If you are watching this and you always say tomorrow, subscribe now, because this story might be the wake-up call you need. His friend Emeka had warned him many times that procrastination would destroy his future, but Tunde only laughed and said he still had time. Now standing outside his small apartment in Onitsha, traffic noise screaming around him, he realized this was the last chance he had missed again. He whispered, "I will start tomorrow for real this time," not knowing that tomorrow would never come for him again. The next morning felt different. The sky was too quiet. His phone showed only today's date, and no future calendar existed. He tried calling Emeka, but the number no longer existed, as if everyone who moved forward had erased him from time itself. He ran into the streets shouting for help, but people looked at him like he was a stranger who had lost his mind. Like this video, if you have ever postponed something important, because Tunde's story might be your reflection in disguise. He eventually found Emeka at the bus terminal, leaving for a job abroad, but Emeka did not even recognize him at first. When Emeka finally looked at him closely, he shook his head and said, "You kept saying tomorrow until tomorrow forgot you." Those words hit Tunde harder than anything he had ever experienced, and he fell silent for a long moment. He returned home and saw his reflection aging faster every time he blinked, as if time was punishing him directly. That night he broke down completely begging for another chance, but the clock on the wall simply stopped moving. He fell to his knees in the middle of his room, shouting that he would start now, not tomorrow, not later, but now. But the silence around him only grew heavier, as if the world had already decided that his time for excuses had ended forever. He remembered every moment he said tomorrow for the gym, tomorrow for the job application, tomorrow for calling his parents. Each memory felt like a knife, because all those tomorrows had now turned into a life he could never recover. Emeka's voice echoed in his head, reminding him that success was never about perfect timing, but about immediate action. He tried to stand up again, but his legs felt weak, as if regret itself was weighing him down. Outside the window, people continued their lives, unaware that he was trapped in a moment he had created himself. Then a strange calm hit him, and he realized the truth, that no one was coming to save him from his delays. He whispered softly that if he ever got another chance, he would never say tomorrow again. He sat there until morning light slowly entered the room, and for the first time, he understood that change does not wait for motivation. It waits for action only. His phone suddenly lit up with a notification from an old draft email he had written to himself years ago, reminding him to start today, not tomorrow. He opened it with shaking hands and saw his own words saying that future him would suffer if he kept waiting. He finally stood up, wiped his face, and walked outside with a decision that this moment would be his reset. And for the first time in years, he did not say tomorrow. He said now, out loud, and started running toward his future. That single decision changed everything for Tunde, as he began applying for jobs, learning skills, and reconnecting with people he had ignored for years. He struggled at first, because procrastination had become a habit, deeply rooted in his mind, but he refused to go back to his old ways. Every morning he woke up early and forced himself to act immediately, without waiting for perfect conditions or perfect timing. He started small, but consistent, and slowly, the results began to show, as opportunities that once ignored him started returning. Emeka later called him from abroad, surprised to hear that Tunde had finally changed and was building something meaningful. If you are watching this and still waiting for the right time, remember that the right time never comes. You create it by starting now. His story became a warning to many in his circle who had also been delaying their dreams, thinking there would always be more time. But Tunde knew better now, because he had lived the cost of procrastination, and it was something he never wanted anyone else to experience. He often told people that procrastination does not kill dreams instantly. It slowly removes the chances of ever achieving them. One evening, as he stood looking at the sunset, he smiled, knowing that he had finally broken the cycle. And in that moment, he realized that his greatest victory was not success, but the decision to start. Finally, his message to anyone watching became simple. If you are still delaying your dreams, stop waiting for motivation, stop waiting for perfect timing, and start now, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment "I start today" if you are ready to change your life, starting from this moment onwards. And share this story with someone who keeps postponing their future, because one day you will thank yourself